Hello, welcome to Real Reds Talk. How we all doing on this Friday evening? It is transfer show day, and we are here with Mr. Adam Gray. Adam, how is it going, my friend?
I'm doing good. Off for a week now on holiday, so I can't say I'm off to the sun like Nick, but
Bastard,
I'll enjoy the time off.
absolute
Yeah.
bastard. Anyway, cheers, mate. It's
Yeah.
Friday.
Cheers to that.
I think we deserve
Friday.
this. I've got an old fashioned, if anybody's asking, by the way, homemade. I think a bit too
Mm.
strong, but I can't complain.
You're never too strong.
Nah, no such thing. Anyways, we're here to talk about transfers. We're here to talk about incomings, outgoings, all the good stuff around Manchester United. So get your get your comments in the chat. Let us know what you want us to talk about or any sort of transfers you've seen. Get the likes on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. All that important stuff. Cool. Let's get into it, Shia. First story, and I feel like Adam. I feel like I'm in 2017 right now because we're talking about Milinkovic-Savic, and
Mm.
I think we've been through this. I think was it under Van Gaal? I believe he was being spoke about as a midfield problem. That's how long this midfield has been a problem, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I think we were linked with Tony Cruz during David Moyes' era, and he said no and got Fellaini. And then we were linked with Milinkovic-Savic under Louis Van Gaal,
Yep.
and did we get Daily Blind?
We got Daily Blind and was it Ander Herrera?
I know. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm all right, Andy Herrera. That's fine.
I know.
That's fine, Andy Herrera. Anyways, so yeah, Milinkovic, Man United set to bid 42 million for Sergey. Is it Sergey or Sergey? Milinkovic-Savic as Frankie De Jong transfer alternative, but Lazio will demand 59 million. So Lazio want close to 60 million for, I think he's 28, 27. Midfielder. Obviously, Lazio, and much like Napoli, they always demand quite a lot of money for their players, and they don't sort of let them go quite easily. United have bid
Nope.
42 million. Red Devils have been chasing Frankie De Jong all this summer, as we know, because we're bloody sick of it already. The Italian side is set to dig their heels in, however, and demand a fee closer to 59 million. Adam, Milinkovic-Savic, thoughts? Is there any truth to this, or is it just bullshit?
It's just paper talk again.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how long's left of his contract. There'll be something going on behind the scenes to try and get another booster contract. We know players in the past have used our name to actually get better deals.
Sergio Ramos comes to mind.
That's a big one too. Yeah, and I genuinely thought that was happening that summer. It looked like it was set to happen too, but it didn't. Milinkovic Savage though, as you're saying, links for nearly it's almost what 8 years now.
Yeah.
8 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't happened. So why would it happen now, a player later in his development? He doesn't really fit the bill of what Ten Hag is trying to kind of build. He wants to build a team, especially he wanted to focus on Frankie De Jong as his vocal point in that team and build everyone around him.
Don't we bloody know it at this point?
Yeah. So we're missing the jigs. We're missing a piece of the jigsaw, and it's the main piece of the
Yeah.
jigsaw right now. And that's a bit of a worry, but obviously the whole talk is if United can't sign Frankie De Jong right now, oh, they must look for someone else, a different target. And who else is there? Oh, what about someone they've been linked with for the last 8 years? And we've seen it like with players like Gaeta and Schneider, Wesley Schneider.
Oh, Wesley
Um,
Sneijder. Fucking hell.
mm,
Every year for was it about 10 years? Really,
yeah.
Wesley Sneijder? I'm surprised there still isn't links at this point because, my God, that went on forever. Every year he was supposedly coming to Manchester United and never did.
Mhm.
So,
Wouldn't shock me with coaching roles now with him being Dutch if we saw the
uh,
links again.
have you seen the size of him?
Oh, he's huge.
He's a big lad now. He's like, my God,
Enjoying retirement.
he gave up training, did he, straight away? As soon as he retired, he was like, fuck any of this. I'm eating
Yeah.
beer. I'm drinking beer. I'm eating food. Like, I'm doing everything. So, yeah, it's, so yeah,
When you have the money, you can enjoy yourself.
yeah, why not? Yeah, so you think paper bullshit, nothing
I
to
think
it.
it's paper talk, all paper talk, and it's quite lazy journalism, I call it.
I mean,
Like, I don't think there's any truth to
most
it.
tabloid journalism isn't it? Really, it's not much
Yeah.
sustenance to it. Like if you want sort of quality stuff, go to the Athletic, go
Yeah.
to who's it? What's another good publication? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Shit. My mind's gone
Who's
blank completely.
the son?
No, no.
I'm joking.
Comment from Indrajeev. He's not worth 60 million. He's from Serie A. I don't.
There is some players, though, I
I
would
was going
take
to
from
say,
Serie A.
there's some decent players in Serie A. I don't think it's all bad. I think you do have to
It
look
is.
at it. You do have to look at it a bit at different leagues. It is quite a lot slower. It's very pragmatic. It's not a very attacking league. It's a very
Yeah.
defense first, play away from the back.
Yeah.
And then you've got like very much holding midfielders, like players like Pirlo, players like what's fucking hell. My brain has just stopped working today completely.
You had Zanetti. Did he play right back or DM?
Yeah,
I think
he's a
played
right back, isn't he? Anyways,
He played a bit of DM for them too, I
yeah.
think.
So you know what I mean, like a player like Pirlo, that's their style.
Barella, modern.
There you go, Barella. Who was the guy who's the PSG Verratti? There you go, like a guy like that.
Oh,
what a fucking player he is! I'd kill for that guy. So yeah,
imagine the midfield. I know PSG have had him and Ander Herrera. Like, imagine the shithousery of that midfield.
Just players who just be like every time just getting kicked the shit out of, just unbelievable. I love Verratti in our team, by the way. I love that guy. I think he's probably one of the best midfielders in the world in a minute. Verratti, I think he's fantastic, and I think he came for the Serie A, didn't he? Didn't he come from? Was it?
I think he might have.
Didn't PSG?
Yeah, who did they actually buy him from? They've had him a long time.
Yeah, he's been there a while, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But
yeah.
Equivalent actually the likes of Napoli.
Yeah, I get your point anyway, GG, if I get the Serie A is the thing. But like everybody was saying about Bruno, weren't he? Oh, like when because of his numbers in the Portuguese league. Oh, it's the Portuguese league, and he's replicated those numbers. Like he's done it. Luis Diaz at Liverpool. Everyone's it's the Portuguese league, He's replicated it. He's done it at Liverpool. So there are players, like just because the league is lower, there are quality players in there. It's just you can't sort of tar everybody with the same brush. But I get your point. I understand. We should invest in Lamé or Yuri Tielemans or both for 70 million. What are your thoughts on Tielemans and Lamé? I'm not sure. I think is it LMAR or LMER?
Is that? Oh, Lamer, is that the Austrian DM? I think from.
I've not seen much of him. So, but yeah, thoughts on Tielemans and Lamer.
Tielemans a weird one because everyone's quoting him to be quite cheap, relatively cheap in terms of transfer.
He's in the last year of his contract, isn't he? So theoretically, he should be cheap. But this should
be cheap.
But it's Leicester.
Premier League.
It's Leicester. It's the Premier League.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a player I really actually like, and I'm just surprised nobody else has kind of gone in for him. I'm surprised City or anyone like that haven't either.
That's the thing. That's what puts me off a little bit. Nobody's come in for him. Arsenal would link to him forever. Jesus Christ, my headphones went mental then. Yeah, he's been on Arsenal's radar forever, and now they want him. Leicester want to sell him. He wants to move, but nobody's bidding. Nobody's making a move. So I don't understand why. I don't understand what it is, but. Yeah,
like he's a talented player. He's young. He has a good shot. Sadly, we've been on the opposite end of that.
That was a fucking. It was a shit season, but when he did that, I was like, "Fucking hell, that was quality." That was a good fucking goal.
It was an unreal goal, and if you think about it too, he's been in. Was he with them when they won the league? I think he was.
Did he not come after?
Or did he come after? Did the recruitment? No, he won the. Them, didn't he?
Didn't they have Kante and Drinkwater and who was the other one that they had? They had that was their midfield, wasn't it? They had a midfield, and then
they got Tielemans and Ndidi after that, wasn't it?
Fucking they replaced Kante with Ndidi and Tielemans. I mean, that's a fucking result. Why can't United do that? Why aren't we doing shit like this? But
we still haven't replaced Michael Carrick.
No, we only replaced Antonio Valencia last year.
There you go, and Glazer Almix. That's what it is.
That was the last right winger we had was Antonio Valencia, and we replaced him last year. Absolutely mental. Introduced
the other guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's saying Bayern Munich are interested in Lamé. So yeah, Lamé. I'm not sure.
They'd be spoiled for choice. Honestly, they're stacked. Whenever you look at over the pitch, like if I could sign one player, I think right now I'd probably go for Joshua Kimmich.
Oh. Quality, absolute quality.
Fast, Like he'll get stuck in with a tackle, really good defender, and he can play multiple positions as well, very versatile. Maybe Martinez might be our Joshua Kimmich. You never know.
See what happens.
Wishful thinking, yeah.
Yeah, see what happens. He is. We'll get onto the squad later on. For the friendly games tomorrow. But yeah, let's move on to the next story because I don't really want to spend too much time on Milinkovic Savic because I think it's a bit of a know-nothing story.
Yeah.
Next story, we're going into Antony. So obviously the Ajax winger has been linked with Manchester United for a while now. Obviously, a bunch of Ajax and Dutch players have all been linked because of Ten Hag's connection to Ajax and him being Dutch as well. So we've had all sorts. Obviously, we've signed Lisandro Martinez. We were linked with Timber back in like sort of beginning of May, and that died after Van Gaal got in his ear.
And it looked like it was going to be a done deal.
Yeah, it was like 35, 40 million. Perfect. Yeah. Sorted. So yeah, that went by the wayside. But the next sort of target since then has been Antony. So Ten Hag has mentioned a few times that he wants a midfielder, which is not including De Jong apparently. It's another separate midfielder and a forward. That's what he's looking at. He didn't say striker, he said forward. So I assume he wants someone flexible across that front line, like Martial, Rashford, Sancho, who can all interchange and switch positions.
He probably wants a left footer too.
Antony fits that bill very much so. So I think he would be a good option for Manchester United. So obviously Manchester United went in with, I think they were wanting to bid like 48 million or something like that. Ajax wanted closer to 70. And I think United just sort of let the deal go cold. And then there was reports a couple of days ago that they were willing to come down on the price to around about 55 million. And United was set to make a fresh bid. And then literally, I think it was yesterday, they jacked the price back up again, didn't they? To, is it 80? 80 million?
100.
Oh, the 100 million. So they jacked the price back up again, which basically means it makes it seem like the deal's dead in the water. I'm just going to read the article. Antony has perhaps been the only consistent forward showing up on transfer reports, clearly a player at Ten Hag's list. According to Holland-based journalist Mike Verwage, Ajax raised the price from 80 million euros to 100 million euros, including bonuses. Allegedly, the winger is keen on a move away from the Netherlands, but the club have no desire to sell him this summer. 22-year-old played 23 times for the club, scoring 8 goals and 10 assists. He has a good record in Champions League, scoring 2, assisting 4 in 7 games. Ajax reached the round of 16. On Antony, would you have took him for 60 million? Would that have been an acceptable price for you? Or are you still thinking that's a bit too much for him at that point?
Would that be pound or euro? I think euro.
Euros, yeah.
Yeah, 60 million euros, I take it. We signed Sancho for that position. We ended up playing him out in the left because of Rashford's poor form. And to be fair to Sancho, he's actually taken that spot up quite well. And we haven't had, I can't remember us really having a left-footed winger for a while.
Not for
being a long time. Yeah, and the last naturally gifted left footer, kind of right wing, other than Salah, that I can think of in the Premier League, it's been probably Iron Robin. It would be. I'd be looking.
I did. Yeah, great player, but I hated Iron Robin. I fucking hated him. He's such a shit house. Like, I hated him, but good player, very good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. But obviously Antony, he's worked under Ten Hag, and I've said it before, signing all players that he's worked with who understand the way he plays. It's 2 steps forward instead of 1.
Yeah.
It was quite evident we wanted him. We wanted to pick, I think 2 or 3 players from Ajax, but we stalled way too long in the Frankie de Jong deal. And the longer that went on, Ajax sold more players.
Yeah.
I understand why they're quoting a higher price. I find it a bit unfair that they're doing it just to us.
Yeah.
Even though I thought they might have a bit of an agreement with Ten Hag saying, okay, we understand you want to bring some of these players as well, but you're pricing us out of it. The only thing is, though, these players, if they don't sign a contract between now and next summer, I can see us going for them next summer. Yeah. And it is a slow rebuild. It is going to be a rebuild over multiple years. And these are young players. So
he's 22. He's 22, so he's not going anywhere.
And I don't think they'll get near as much as that.
But his price goes down next season. Next summer, his price goes down. So
Probably
it's
get him for 50 million euros next
yeah.
summer. So what, 43 million there, and hopefully we'll have more to spend next summer.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. Like I've only seen him play in the Champions League. Like that's the only I've not watched.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, everybody. I don't watch the Eredivisie every week. I'm sorry.
I watched a little bit,
Um,
and talented
yeah,
player.
very exciting player. Like you've said many times, gets you up off your feet.
Yeah.
He's great trickery, great skills. Can know how to cross a ball as well, which God we need in this team because the only one
Yeah.
capable at the minute is Jadon Sancho, and he doesn't do it that often. He likes to cut inside and dribble more often than not.
Yeah.
So we've got Ericsson in the team who can deliver a ball fantastically well. And if we got Antony or someone, that'd be great. But yeah, I think 100 million euros is absolutely ridiculous. He'd be more expensive than Sancho, and I don't think he's at Sancho's level. He'd be more expensive than De Jong. He's definitely not at De Jong's level. He'd be more expensive than Pogba. And when Pogba's at his best, Gareth Bale, when Pogba's at his best, I don't think he's like Pogba's one of the best players on the planet when he's at his best, but he's just not consistent enough, obviously.
No.
And I don't think he's worth more than Pogba. So it's a stupid price. But again, I get why they're saying it because they've had the team ripped apart yet again.
Yeah.
Gravenberch, Matsurawi, Alnana, Martinez, who else? Haller. Like they've just had the spine ripped out of that team completely. So I get it. They're trying to get as much money as possible because if they're going to lose key players, you have to make it worth your while. Yeah, get your money. So I understand from Ajax's point of view.
United.
Yeah, I understand from.
We were too slow.
Yeah, we should have. Our business. The reason our business has taken so long is because we did not sort of get on it and straight away in the transfer window. Like, City got Haaland sorted out in April. We knew about it. He signed the contract, sorted, done. And then we didn't sign our first player till when was Malacia signed? When did we sign Malacia?
Maybe 3 weeks ago, was it? It was only 3 weeks ago.
Fucking June. So, you know what I mean? Mid-June. And
it was the last week, actually. Remember, we had nobody signed.
Yeah.
No, we went it was in July, actually, wasn't it?
Was it in July?
We went, it was the first transfer window in 10 years where United didn't sign a player in June.
Oh, shit, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, yeah, we spent a whole month of June doing what? Negotiating with Frankie de Jong? Look how well that's gone.
Yeah.
It's clearly not fucking done anything, has it? So, our speed has been really bad, but I think the players we're buying is better than last year. So I think that helps us.
Good few comments there.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to go through. DJ Ayush, bro, Manchester United is interested in signing Dumfries. Yeah, we spoke about that on Monday. There's not been much happening I've seen since. So if something's come out, mate, put it in the chat. I'll check it out. But yeah, I've not seen anything since Monday. Indrajit, fucking hell, my headphones.
I heard that one.
Yeah, I might have to take these off in a minute. Indrajit, we negotiate 75 or 80 million for Antony. They will sell next year. He may not be worth that much. That's what you were saying, wasn't it, Adam? Maybe selling next year, getting for cheaper. JD429, Manchester United is the worst at negotiations. We could have gotten Antony for a cheaper price if we went for him sooner. Now, if the Glazers have a reason not to spend, it's because he's too expensive. Yeah, I think that's
could have got him for 50
it's
million.
Definitely a valid point. I think Glazers do like to do that. They like to wait till the last minute, and then when the price has obviously gone above and beyond like what it is because it's later on in the transfer window, they go, we tried. It's just like, well, no.
There's no value in the market.
Yeah, if you would have done it in fucking beginning of May or June, you would have got him from a cheaper price because they wouldn't have had Gravenberch go, Matsurawi go, all that sort of stuff. They wouldn't have had all these players leave. But you just were twiddling your thumbs doing God knows what. Like, most other teams once January's over, they're planning their summer business.
Exactly.
They're making connections with agents and going, would you be interested in coming here? Like, we saw something. Like you saw with Luis Diaz. He was not supposed to come to Liverpool till this summer. And then Tottenham were going in for him in January and they were almost signed it. And they were like, fuck, if we won't be able to get someone. So they moved quick and grabbed him. Did it in a week.
And they've done the exact same for the fella from Fulham, the young guy.
Yeah. Carvalho. Yeah.
Looks a really, really good talent too.
It's like they knew that they weren't going to be there if they waited. So they moved. We're just not doing that. And it's, again, Glazer bullshit. It does seem to be a bit better in terms of the type of players, like I said, we're getting, but just the speed and the Stuff is just not fantastic.
It's one thing that heavily frustrates me because once they hired Ten Hag, they knew he was our fella. I'm sure, and we all know he came with a plan saying how he changed the team, how we get the best out of the current players, who we would like to sign and bring to the club to make it better
Yeah,
and build into his idea. That's when they should have been have the list of names and be talking to agents from then.
yeah,
But it feels like they paused everything till the end of the season.
yeah,
It feels like they've done nothing till the end. There was no paper talk about anything. Frankie de Jong came out in May, I think it
yeah.
was, at the end of the season. That talk should have been a month earlier. It should have been because when we knew Ten Hag was there. And it really, really frustrates me. They should have more than two people negotiating deals. Like,
You should
send
be able to
delegates.
negotiate more than one deal at a time.
Exactly.
Like, it's
We're the
fucking
biggest, one of the biggest clubs in the world. We were the biggest, and now we're down to one of the biggest, just because of how poorly we're being run. Hopefully, things are changing, but that's one thing that hasn't changed in 10 years, and it's the ability to negotiate more than one deal at a time.
I hope it's just teething problems this summer because
Yeah.
obviously we've got a new regime in terms of John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold. Obviously there's
Yeah.
a brand new is rumours of like a think tank as well that I've seen is with Fergie,
Hmm.
David Gill, and all that sort of stuff. Brian Robson I think was involved of how to recruit players and all that stuff because obviously Fergie was very famous for like going to players' houses, wasn't it? They're just like going to the
Yeah.
parents' house and stuff like that and talking with families, and that's why we got all
Hmm.
these quality players coming to us because he had that relationship with players.
Hmm.
So
Then we got Ryan Giggs.
yeah, exactly,
After seeing him training the City Youths, he
exactly.
went to, I think he went to Giggs' mother's
Yep,
house and he just talked with her. And then
yep.
next day, Ryan Giggs was signed up and then he went on to make the most appearances for our club.
Yeah. Shame he's an absolute tosser of a person, but fantastic player.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Other than
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Anyways, there's some comments. Daniel Raj, shout out to Dan in the chat.
Hmm.
He's obviously a big part of this channel. So yeah, shout out to Dan. Do we really need Antony? We have Sancho, Rashford, Ilanga, Palestri, Ahmad, and Chong. I think there's one standout name on there, and that's Chong.
Yeah.
I don't rate Chong at all. I don't.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a decent level of player, but I don't think he's United quality, and I think
No.
he's probably on his way out this summer. I don't know if you agree with that.
No, I'd agree with that. He's had a few chances, but he hasn't looked, good at all really in the appearances he's made. He's never kind of like, we haven't really had much to shout for when he's come on. Just a bit disappointed because the people were saying, "Oh, this fellow's really, really talented," but he hasn't really set the world alight. I think he went on loan to Birmingham, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he went to was it
Yeah,
Werder Bremen or something?
Werder Bremen. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was someone in the Bundesliga. Yeah, and I haven't really heard much of his spell there. Ahmed, I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for this, but didn't set the world alight at Rangers. Better work.
Nick,
Yeah,
turn your mic off, turn your headphones off. Don't listen, Nick.
yeah. Yeah, apparently if you say Ahmed's name three times while staring into the mirror, Nick will appear
Yeah,
behind you with an
Nick
ad.
is a big fan of Ahmad Diallo.
Yeah, but again, a player we signed for high money, and to be fair to him, when he actually made the appearance for us, he got the goal against AC Milan. Really, really
Good
good
goal,
goal.
very good goal.
Yeah, something like Chicharito, the kind of
Oh,
backwards header, wasn't it?
I miss Chicharito, man. He was a
Oh,
fucking great player. Fucking love
I was.
Chicharito.
That's someone we just don't have that sort of option off the bench now. Well, who do we have? We have wingers on the
Yeah,
bench for our strikers, and
well,
it's a bit of a worry. I know we'll get into the striker further down the line, but as you said, there's only really one big standout name there, and it's Rashford. And look what he done last season.
I mean,
Very, very
look
good
what he
one.
didn't do last season. More to the point.
Exactly.
Okay, hell.
Yeah.
If not De Jong, this is from Farouk. If not De Jong, I don't see Man United making any more signings. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me if he didn't make any more signings. I think we'll get one more and De Jong. I think if De Jong
I
happens,
I saw there was something on Twitter about apparently Ten Hag wants four more. Wishful
I
thinking
don't.
that,
He's
mate.
not getting four. He's
No.
not getting four. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I'd love four to come through it, but he's not
Yeah.
getting it. He's no way he's
Hmm.
getting it. Not
Hmm. And
unless,
he,
not unless three of them are free transfers. He's not
yeah.
getting it. There's not a chance.
A striker, a winger, a right
Midfielder.
back, a midfielder, and I also saw a goalkeeper because when you think about it, our backup keeper is Tom Heaton.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Tom Heaton. He seems like a decent lad, but he's not Sergio Romero, is he?
No, unless you see the thing is, whenever he was playing with Burnley at Old Trafford, he was always the best keeper in the world. Can we play him at Old Trafford every week?
Yeah, there you go.
Those days, so frustrating.
There's a couple of questions. Injured if we should give Sir Alex the CEO job, he would take it. I think he's enjoying retirement, mate. Let's just not put any of this pressure on him. Like, let him enjoy. He's 70 odd. Like, just let him enjoy his life. Like, let him have some whiskies and watch the games and stuff. What is this Sir Alex Ferguson's new role? I want to know the Alex Ferguson. So I was going to get on something else, but Nick dropped this in the chat just before we went live. This is from Chris Wheeler. Richard Arnold has set up a think tank involving Sir Alex Ferguson, David Gill, who was the former chairman before Ed Woodward. He was like the chairman in charge when Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge of Manchester United. They had a very good relationship. Brian Robson, who obviously Man United great, famous, one of the best midfielders of all time, arguably. Like, he's a bit before my time. He was more of my dad's.
Captain Marvel, was it?
Captain Marvel, yeah, Captain Marvel. Yeah. He was my dad's era of footballer more than sort of mine.
There's a great documentary about him. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
I saw it. It's very good. Very good. Roy Keane was my sort of era of football, like midfielder. And director John Murtaugh, so he can draw on their experience of all aspects of the club. So I imagine that it's just like a sort of brain trust of like all these experienced heads. So you got a player in Brian Robson, obviously at Manchester United for a very successful period, one of the best midfielders, one of the best captains of all time. Sir Alex Ferguson, the most successful manager of all time. I mean, any other team who tries to argue that he's not, leave the fucking door, because he is one of the best managers of all time. And then obviously you've David Gill, who was chairman of Manchester United for a long time during the most successful period of Manchester United. So obviously they're getting together. Hopefully that it provides some sort of knowledge and provides some sort of insight into how Richard Allen and John Murtaugh can sort of proceed in recruitment, and not only recruitment, but development of young players, development of the club, playing style, all that good stuff. What is just before I get that, Adam, actually, I just wanted some comments and then I'll get your thoughts.
Yeah.
Ashley Dallow. Shout out to Ashley Dallow. It's been a while, mate. Long time no see, guys. I've looked forward to your channel so long. I don't get any notifications for your lives. That's interesting. I'll look into that, Ashley. Ashley,
if you can, I hit the bell. I think it's a little notification, but if you haven't already,
if not, I'll have a go to it. But actually, if you follow us on socials like Twitter, Instagram, we always put out when we're going live, and we put a direct link to it as well. So if you just go on, if you follow us on there, you'll see it as soon as like an hour before, or as we go live, you'll definitely see it. But I'll look into the notification thing. Appreciate it. Wathan Robert, Man U is too slow signing players. They are not serious this summer. I agree and I disagree. They are slow, but I think they are serious about signing decent players. So it is and is. But what are your thoughts?
We've been mugged off in the past, so we don't want to be mugged off again. We've seen it with Harry Maguire, Paul Pogba. We don't between them
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka, Pogba, Harry Maguire. That's I think over 200 million spent there.
Not been great, has it? Not been great.
No, We've got our arses handed to us, so I understand why they're being slow. They don't want to be taken advantage of.
Well, we walked away from Timber, didn't we? Like Timber, we were going for him. He sorted, and then he went, "I don't want to come." So we walked away. Like,
and then people are saying, "Oh, why aren't we doing that with Frankie De Jong?" But the thing is, I think Frankie De Jong actually does want to come. Yeah. And I don't think I think we would have walked away by now.
Sure.
The only thing is the wages.
Yeah.
It's the wage that he's owed.
The money. Yeah.
So. The money, and if he says he wants to go, then he's basically sacrificing that money, and any kind of if it goes to court,
exactly.
He's giving it up that way. But you're talking about
the think tank.
Ferguson, and I know the oversee kind of redevelopment for Carrington, Old Trafford, everything like that. But I'd actually love David Gill to actually give some advice to the scouts, because he's helped negotiate some great deals.
Yep.
If you think about it, he oversaw, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it, the signings of Evra and Vidic?
Yeah.
That was
one of the best. January as well, wasn't it?
January, mid-season. That was from, I think it was in Marseille. They got Evra. Yeah. I could be wrong. Yeah. And then Spartak Moscow, I think, for Vidic.
Was it not Red Star Belgrade?
Could have been Red Star Belgrade. So I don't know. Oh no, I think he played later for Spartak Moscow. Okay. Yeah, I could be getting mixed up with that. But I think it was a 6.5 million for Vidic.
Absolutely
Like,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Ridiculous.
and look what he went on to be. He went on to win two Premier League Players of the Years, PFA Player of the Years
God
for a
knows
centre back.
how many trophies he got. Like
Yeah,
unbelievable.
the the only centre back to do that. Nobody else has done it. John Terry hasn't. Tony Adams hasn't.
Fuck John Terry, by
Rio
the way.
hasn't. Yeah.
Fuck John Terry.
Van Dijk hasn't. For me, I think a lot of people say Rio, but Vidic for me
Yeah,
was,
Vidic
I
is
think,
mine.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid to put his head anywhere.
You've
Like we've
seen
seen it.
pictures. You've seen the
Yeah,
pictures. Just fucking blood pouring down his face.
yeah.
Seen it.
He and for me, if I wanted any centre half, I'd choose him.
Yeah. No, he's
And
when we did I think me, Nick and Shreyas were
all-time
doing
11s.
yeah, and Vidic was in
Hmm.
mine because I
Hmm.
can't not pick him because that was one of the best defensive lines we've ever had at Manchester United. Like
Yeah,
Vidic, Rio, Evra, and then was it Raphael on the right back position?
yeah, yeah. You had Gary Neville, I think, for a year.
Yeah, and then he retired,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah,
But yeah,
hmm
on the think tank. Sorry, we're getting
yeah.
off track here.
I, yeah, I know. I kind of went off there.
Yeah,
Sorry about recruitment and that, but I think it's a good thing. But I would like to see. I like how they're overseeing the kind of stuff off the pitch, because I think Ten Hag doesn't want any interference. Because I think there has been a little interference. I think it's my only criticism of everything about Sir Alex right now. He does like to be involved. I understand that,
yeah.
but I think we need to distance ourselves from the past now. We
I,
need to look at the future, have new ideas, cook up, like dream it all up again.
yeah.
As it was in a speech Bono ended up saying, and they ended up going
You'd
on.
know better than me
Yeah,
on that one, mate. Sorry.
they basically reinvented themselves
Yeah,
from one sound to a different into the 90s, and it was a success. But that's what we need to do, dream it all up again. And hopefully they can do the off the stuff pitch because we need to actually redevelop Old Trafford. It's been talked for
oh,
years. I think there been was it a 500 half a billion pound plan, and it's being conducted by the people who made Spurs'
yeah,
stadium.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
there's a couple of like theories of how to do it. Like one of them is obviously build a brand new stadium next door,
yeah,
which I don't think the Glazers are going to do that. They're not spending that money.
no.
And then the other one was there's a train station just to the
Hmm.
side of Old Trafford, and it was to build up and over that.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the sort of better option to extend the capacity beyond the
Yeah,
stadium.
I think they should do that, because you can have a stop. It'll just be Old Trafford Stadium. Imagine that in match days. It would be
Oh,
so helpful as well.
you
And
know,
then
it
you put,
annoys me. It annoys me that the tram doesn't go to Old Trafford. It only goes to
yeah,
Salford Keys. I have to walk
mhm.
like to Old Trafford.
You
I
have to
love the
walk it through
walk.
it here.
I love the
Yeah,
walk. It's
it's a good
great,
walk.
but like I wish there was a tram stop to Old Trafford, man. Like,
It's up Sir Alex Way, isn't it?
yeah,
Sir
so
Alex
sorry,
Ferguson
somewhere.
Way, yeah,
A couple of
yeah.
comments in the chat. Guys, our transfer market concerning income players is over. Man United will not buy any more players. That's Ashley Dello. Ashley Dello, have you guys been able to watch Eriksen's debut goal against Wrexham, please? I've not seen it because it was behind closed doors. So don't
Yeah,
think they've released anything. If anybody
no.
knows of any video footage, please do drop it in the chat. I'd love to see it,
Mhm.
but I've not seen anything. I think he's in. We're gonna get onto the squad for the friendlies in a bit,
Yeah.
but I believe he is in the squad for Atletico Madrid. So hopefully we get to see something of him on
Mhm.
tomorrow. Farouk, without consistency in retaining Champions League spots, negotiations definitely get hard. It can only get better with Ten Hag. Hopefully. You'd hope
Mhm.
so. Hopefully, Ten Hag has been a pull for a lot of the players we brought in. Malacia came
Yeah,
because of Ten Hag. Martinez obviously came because of Ten Hag, and I believe probably
Ericsson said
Ericsson's
it.
probably a reason why he came is because of Ten Hag.
And
So
then supposedly maybe Ten Hag and Frankie De Jong. That's
yeah,
what the
exactly.
thing
So
is as well. So,
Ten Hag's been a major factor because we don't have Champions League football. So
mhm.
yeah, hopefully it gets better. There was a little bit of news on the stadium, Adam. Do you want to get into that you were talking about?
Mhm. Was it about the redevelopment plan? Was it?
No, about the dugouts.
Oh, the dugouts, yeah. So basically, United, if you haven't been at Old Trafford, when you're facing the Sir Bobby Charlton stand from, to say, the kickoff, where you kick off, the middle of the pitch, United have always been on the left, so they were closer. Their dugout was closer to the away fans,
Yeah.
and the away dugout was then on the right side. So it'd be the first one when you're walking up the pitch. And now Ten Hag has actually requested to swap them around.
Yeah.
And it's like Ferguson had his technical area right there on the left the whole time. So it is a bit distancing themselves from the Ferguson era in that everyone else is being on the left. But he said he wants to be closer to the subs warming up because the subs warm up further down the line
Yeah.
there and be closer to the Stretford end as well.
He
So
also, he's also can get in the change room, the locker room quicker
yeah,
to deliver
faster.
whatever the tactics and stuff he has. So he's got. He seems like he has got very high attention to detail. Like these little
Oh yeah.
things matter to him.
Sure, we've seen it with the grass. The grass has to be cut at a certain
Yeah.
height, especially with this fella. And this is why I wanted the fella. It's what the players needed. They needed this kick up the arse, someone who is really, really, as you said, attention to detail, the small details too. And I think this is a good thing. I
Yeah.
honestly do. I think it's going to be a bit different. I'm sure some of the fans are going to be disappointed. The ones with the
Yeah.
season
It's not
tickets
behind.
that
Yeah.
are
It's
going.
not behind there.
Yeah. So maybe will they be getting a cheaper what you call it season ticket
Maybe.
this year? Who knows? Yeah.
Maybe. But the problem is the guys on the other side are going to get charged more now. It's the sat yeah, it's like it was not this much. How much last season? Yeah. So
Yeah. So I know I think it's a good thing. It's putting his own identity anyway onto the touchline area there. Nobody else has done it,
yeah.
and I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Mhm.
It's definitely it's going to be weird for me because I've gone to Old Trafford my entire life, and it's always been that way. Because obviously
Yeah.
I was born '88 when Fergie started at Old Trafford. I started going in like '94, '95. So it's
Yeah.
always been that way for me. So it's going to be a little weird when I look over when I go, and it's going to be, oh no, they're over that way, over that side. So yeah, be interesting. Injured
Mhm.
Chief, imagine a transfer market without Ten Hag. Nobody would have come unless we paid silly wages. Yeah, I think if we want Ten Hag came in, we'd be signing Paulo Dybala. I think that he would have been a
Yeah.
Manchester United player. I think Harry
He went
Kane.
to Roma, didn't
Yeah, you see the fucking video they did. Absolutely ridiculous.
he? I haven't yet.
Just
No.
so stupid. Just fucking. We would have signed Harry Kane for 100 and odd million. We would
Yeah.
have signed Declan Rice for 100 and odd million. And that would have been it. That would have been our fucking dealings done. Just,
That would have been our window, yeah. And then we would have had to pick our focus
Mc,
with Harry Maguire again,
yeah,
McFred.
McFred, just ridiculous.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, I agree with you, NGG. Next story, Ethan Laird. This is an outgoing, obviously. Ethan Laird, the young right back for Manchester United. Watford have opened talks to Manchester United over signing Ethan Laird on loan. The young right back did well on tour, but needs regular minutes. I'm totally agreeing with that. I think more players will start going on loan at this point. I think Ten Hag's had a look at his squad over this tour. He's realised, right, these players need minutes. These are the ones I want to keep around the first team, and then these are probably going to go or whatever, or play in the youth team, whatever it is. So I think Ethan Laird, obviously, he must see something in him because he's not selling him. He's putting him on loan so he can get experience.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if the rumours of us getting a right back in are true, I imagine he'd see his minutes limited because of Dallo and whoever comes in. So I think it's a good option for him to go on loan. I believe Watford in the Championship next season. So it's a good league, tough league as well, very physical.
A lot more games.
A lot more games as well. So he'll get the minutes hopefully at Watford. So yeah, thoughts on Ethan Laird going on loan to Watford?
Yeah, there was a few talks about Ajax wanting him, but I think they were more looking sort of permanent deal, and I don't think United are willing to do that because they see a bit of potential in the lad. And if Ajax want him, they can pay 100 million.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be saying to them after quoting that ridiculous fee for Antony. But Championship, as you were saying, a lot more games, more minutes, a lot more rotation. So he would be more likely to get a lot more minutes. The only advantage maybe if he did go to Ajax on loan would have been
I would have loved that. That would have been
yeah.
amazing. It's such a good learning sort of experience
Yeah.
to go to Ajax on loan and learn to play football.
Yeah.
Like amazing.
And then you have Champions League football too, they
Yeah.
do. So you got to get European experience as well. You learn a lot. You become more disciplined in that club, 100%.
Your
Everyone's
technical ability as well go through the
Yeah.
roof. So
Exactly. So maybe that would have been a good loan, but he's going to a tough, arguably people would say a tougher league than the Premier League.
Yeah.
Just like, in terms of balance, because anyone can go up and anyone can get relegated. We've seen, I know, given what happened with Derby, nobody expected that.
no.
But It can happen to any club like that. You could go
Happened
down,
to
look at
it happened
Sunderland.
to City, happened to Leeds,
Yeah.
happened to God. It's a few big
We've went down to the championship kind of area before as well. We have.
Aston Villa, big club, they went down.
Mhm.
West Ham, Newcastle,
Newcastle.
loads of clubs have been lost in the championship. It's happened to a
Yeah.
few.
And I think the saddest story was obviously Sunderland, although I don't really have much sympathy for what they done after City won the league that time. I was like,
Yeah,
let that club drop.
fuck Sunderland,
Yeah.
bastards.
So they're gone. There is obviously that good documentary, Sunderland Till I Die,
Yeah,
if you haven't watched it.
very good
Really, really good.
documentary. Yeah,
But championship will be another great experience for the young lad, and I think it makes more sense, probably more sense for him as well, because he wants to stay in England, be closer to family, understand going away to a different country, especially the Netherlands, a whole different
and he's
language.
young as well. He's a very
Yeah,
young player, so
exactly. So go off to the championship, get a good few minutes in, and maybe you can actually try and help Watford achieve promotion again, because that's obviously going to be their aim.
yeah, definitely. Uh,
Mhm.
Hashley Dallo, Varane's home while the squad is travelling. Is he injured again? Are you having a laugh? Or is he
Oh,
playing
jeez.
Sunday? Because fuck me if he's injured again. Um,
He played in that friendly he did behind closed
yeah,
doors, I
maybe
know.
he's playing in the Sunday game. Maybe he's playing in that.
Probably that, yeah.
What
That makes sense because that's at Old Trafford, isn't it?
Yeah, a sign of Maguire Martinez partnership at the back from Roro Ronaldo Rooney connection to the connection. Hopefully, this will be a success. I mean, I hope so because Maguire can't be any worse than he was last season. Like he can't,
No.
because if he is, we're in for a very bad season. If he's going to be
Oh,
worse than last season, because that was abysmal. Was it Nick who was saying? Is it 14 mistakes?
18,
18 mistakes.
18 goals. It led to
80 mistakes that
18
led to
mistakes that led
goals.
to goal.
So if he's got worse than him than that, then we're in for a rough season. It's going to be fucking
Yeah.
rough. Anyways, let's go on to the next story. So, big story at the minute, which is all over Twitter, all over social media. Manchester United are weighing up Benjamin Sesko transfer after John Murtaugh meeting. So obviously the Real Salzburg striker, who I think he believes he's 19. He scored against Liverpool actually the other day, didn't he? A very
Yeah.
good goal as well. I don't know much about him because I don't watch the Austrian Bundesliga. I know
hmm
nothing about the kid. I saw the goal against Liverpool again, very good goal. If Ten Hag is a fan of this kid and he rates him, I trust Ten Hag's judgment and opinion. Manchester United football director met their agent, RB Salzburg striker Benjamin Sesko last week. Sunderland Murtaugh rendezvous with Sesko's agent last Wednesday to gauge the possibility of a transfer. Sesko scored the winner in the friendly against Liverpool on Wednesday, and his agent is attempting to whip up the market for the Slovenian international. Sesko is contracted to Salzburg until 2026. Where's the... I'm just trying to find the price.
55 was it? I think
55
55
million euros, but United are looking to pay closer to 30 million euros. So 30 million euros, about 25 million, 26 million pounds for a backup striker. I think that's a pretty good price. Like, I'm all right paying that for, because he is going to be a backup striker. He's 19. He's had one season in the Austrian Bundesliga. I believe he scored, is it
5 and 1 assist.
5 and 1
I think
assist, which
24 appearances.
yeah, so not the greatest record, but again, first season, young lad. He's 6'4", so he's a fucking unit as well. He's a big lad.
Yeah.
There's all these like hype around him saying he's the next Haaland or he's the next this and stuff. Then you got to kind of not pay attention to that because it's just sort of media bullshit.
Exactly.
25 million for a backup striker, I'd be all right with that. He's obviously going to sit on the bench because if Ronaldo stays, he's not playing ahead of Ronaldo. If Ronaldo doesn't stay,
Unless he shows a bit more fight.
maybe.
Like, Ten Hag mightn't be happy with his attitude, so.
Yeah, if obviously Martial continues on the way he's playing, I don't think you should drop him because he's playing well and stuff. So I believe Martial should get his opportunity, should play. So he's not going to play ahead of Martial, arguably. So yeah, he would be a backup option. And I think 25 million, 30 million euros would be a decent price. But if they want something like 55 million, I think it's too expensive for that sort of player for me. But what are your thoughts, Adam?
Well, if you're looking at it, they're quoting that, and we're looking more at the 30 million mark. I think you could nearly meet in the middle, maybe. I think it was a 55 million pound or euro was the quota fee. I think
Is
the
really
euro was it.
okay.
hmm Yeah, so if you're thinking what, meet in the middle, 40, 42
It's a lot of money though
million
for a
euro.
guy who's
Yeah,
had one season in
insane.
Austrian Bundesliga.
That's true, but you also look, I know his numbers aren't as impressive as Darwin Núñez, but he went for, what was it? I think 80 million plus,
Yeah,
could be like
add-ons.
12
Yeah,
million add-ons, yeah.
yeah,
Um, But haven't watched the lad. I haven't watched much, I'll admit, like
no,
you. I remember, was it last Monday or the week before
yeah,
when the initial links actually came up? I ended up saying, look, I haven't heard much of him. I watched him against Liverpool, bits, clips here, there. I thought for his height, he's really, really good for his feet. I was
yeah, yeah.
actually really, really surprised with it. And given his height, his finishing, it kind of reminded me a bit of Ibrahimovic in a way, but with it, and that's not saying he's slow.
No, no,
The
no.
lad is actually rapid.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's because youth is on his side, but I'm thinking now, he really liked to use Sebastian Haller as that target man, big, tall centre forward.
It's an option. It's an option, isn't it? Because he's very
Yeah,
different to Antony Martial, who obviously likes to
yeah.
link play together, drop in,
Hmm.
likes to play the ball with his feet and stuff like that. So it's obviously a very different
Taller than
option.
Ronaldo too.
Yeah, he's a very different option to bring on. So if
Yeah,
you need to change things up, it's a good option to
yeah.
have.
And I think the main point is if Eric Ten Hag wants him, you go and get him. That's it, because
Yeah,
this fella, he turns young players into really, really world-class
yeah.
players. And there's no, you could argue maybe Klopp and all that, but right now I don't think there's really much better managers in the world than or not Jurgen Klopp, Ten Hag to actually turn these players into world-class
Yeah,
players.
yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
A couple of comments. What if he becomes the next number 9 for us in the future? This is from Shreya. Ten Hag seems to like him.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I'm all for it. Develop him. I think paying a lot of money for a guy with not even potential at this point, just that Ten Hag likes him. If that would be linked to him,
Hmm.
I think it's a lot of money, and I just think
Hmm.
we've got to be careful because spending money on young prospects may bite us in the end. So just you got to
Hmm.
be careful. Daniel Raj can't buy players with a high price with just one goal. Should not go beyond 25 mil. Yeah, I'm similar feeling, Dan. Severe in the chat. Shout out to Severe, mate. I've not seen you for a while. Good to see you. Rendezvous. These journalists, man. Yeah, some of the language in the journalism is just utter ridiculousness.
Hmm.
Muhadeen. What amazing news for United if it's true. Sesko is the only replacement of Wayne Rooney. He's a young player, quality striker. United catching quick. If it's true, he's very good news for United fan. I mean,
Hmm.
you know, obviously know more about it than I do, Muhadeen, because I've not seen any of this kid. So,
Hmm. He impressed Jurgen Klopp a lot, he did,
yeah. Well,
against
there you
them.
go.
I
Uh,
wonder if he had any regrets.
oh, fuck. I'm so gutted that Jurgen Klopp was due to come to Manchester United until Ed Woodward met him and fucked it all up.
I think he basically said it was like Disneyland.
Yeah, and Jurgen Klopp was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God,
Hmm.
we could have had him, but
Good for
there
him.
we go."
It
Where
is what
could
it
we
is.
where
Maybe
could
meant
we
it
be
for life.
now? Where could we be now? Uh,
Well, would he have got? I suppose if you look at it, would they've gone? They would have still gone down the lines of that superstar signing.
yeah.
Maybe he didn't want that, and you never know.
Well,
Two different stories.
we'll never know. We'll never know.
No.
Injury Cristiano's posted he'll play on Sunday. Some fan page. I'm gonna get on to Ronaldo next. Don't worry. We'll get on to Ronaldo.
Hmm.
Also with Antony. Wow, I think he's referring to Sesko there.
Yeah.
Augustine, what about De Jong? As far as I know, nothing's changed with De Jong. I think we spoke about it on
Hmm.
Monday. He's saying he wants to stay. Xavi said he wants him, but he's going to play a bit centre back. But he needs to take a 50% pay cut, despite the fact that they owe him 17 million euros, and they're buying Rafinha, Koundé, and Lewandowski, and they can't register him unless Frankie De Jong takes a pay cut or leaves. That's where we're at with Frankie De Jong at the minute. I'm sick of talking about it, honest to God. I really am sick of talking about it at this point. So forgive me if I don't go through it again because we spent 20 minutes on it on Monday. So let's just move on from it. Daniel Rice, Ronaldo comments on Instagram account he follows and worships Sunday the King plays. Yeah, I'm getting on to Ronaldo. Don't worry, Dan. Any transfer links for the CDM? Shreyas, are you trying to hurt me, mate? Why are you putting that in the chat? Fucking Dan, Shreyas, Sam will go wired. Yeah, he will. Stop. Like, we're not getting a CDM. Stop teasing me.
There we
Stop
go.
winding
You
me.
got him going.
Fucking absolutely ridiculous. I'm innocent. Dan took my phone. Yeah, all right, sure as. I'm gonna start banning people from the chat at this point. Oh, fucking Christ! Right, Ronaldo news. Let's talk about something else because if
Here
I
we
get
go.
on about CDM, I'm just gonna lose my shit. So, Cristiano Ronaldo, he obviously had a meeting. I believe it was Monday. He had a meeting. Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Monday,
Monday.
Tuesday.
Monday, he had a meeting with Eric Ten Hag, face-to-face meeting, and John Murtaugh. I believe Alex Ferguson and Brian Robson were there. Apparently, they weren't involved in the meeting, but I don't know what truth there
I
is to
doubt
that.
that.
He was there on Tuesday, but he trained separately from the rest of the team who were going to Oslo and the Saturday. He also stayed around to watch the behind closed doors friendly that Ericsson Martinez played in. He stayed to watch that, I believe. And then there was some stuff being posted by I've got it here. I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was a Cristiano Ronaldo fan page called Cristiano Ronaldo-ish. They put, Jorge Mendes has told Manchester United that Cristiano was adamant about leaving, but Mendes left negotiations less than positive that Ronaldo would get his move. Sir Alex Ferguson has intervened. United insists Ronaldo's not for sale. So this is what this fan account posted. Ronaldo then took to Instagram and then just replied with, "Impossible not to talk about me for one day. Otherwise, the press makes no money. You know what? If you don't lie, you can't get people's attention. Keep going. That one day you might get some news right." Adam, thoughts?
It's a weird one because I think something similar happened when he left Juventus too. Something along those lines, calling out kind of journalists. But he's saying like they kind of using his name and that, but he's brought it on himself. He has, and I think it's only getting to him now that he realizes his options aren't as big as he
There's
thought.
no options. There isn't
There's
any.
no options. And the only kind of talk I've seen now was talks with Sporting Lisbon. He shot that down earlier, but there was a link again today that
But
apparently
supposedly going on loan, but then United will end up paying his wages. Which if I was United, I'd be like, "Fuck off! Not a chance. I'm doing it, mate. I'm not paying your wages, so you can go fuck off to Sporting Lisbon. Not doing it. If they want him, come buy him."
Exactly. And does he see that? How is that a step up? Like how?
Because they're in the Champions League, innit? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But what you call till yesterday, Shamrock Rovers were in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, are Shamrock Rovers bigger than us because we're not in the Champions League? That's the thing. He brings it on himself. He is, and the longer this is kind of going on, it might seem unpopular because I absolutely love the fella for years, but I'm sort of losing a wee bit of respect.
I think a lot of fans are. I think a lot of fans are getting frustrated with it.
That's the thing. What reception is he gonna get when
people still cheer him, people still chant his name? Like they will, like, because it's Ronaldo, like they will. If it was Pogba, he'd be getting booed. If it was Rashford,
I saw that. I was at the game when Pogba got booed.
If it was Rashford, he'd be getting booed. Like anybody else, they get booed, but because it's Ronaldo, he can do pretty much no wrong in a lot of fans' eyes.
Exactly.
Just before we sort of talk about it a little bit more, Nick is in the chat. Everybody say hi to Nick. Everybody wave at Nick. What's popping, gang? Missing you guys. Yeah, I'm sure you are. You sat on a beach in Tenerife, mate. I'm sure it's very hard for you right now. With a drink in your hand, I assume. Shreyas, forgive me, friend. No one asked me anything about CDM. Nobody mentioned Kamara went on a free to Villa. Shreyas, mate, you're getting banned from this chat. I swear to Christ. Shreyas, waiting for Nick's come back. The chat will go crazy. Definitely. No Sangari or Kese and Sakaria for a fact. I'm honest to God, they're winding me up in this chat.
I'm seeing Nick there missing you guys. I'm sure he's missing us on a sunbed with a whiskey.
That's what I just said. Yeah, I just said on the beach with a drink. Augustine, but Sesko will do well if the deal will be through. Maybe, hopefully.
A bit more, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I think we should go for the deal because if Ten Hag, if he really wants them, I think there's what you call a wiggle room for negotiation there, and they definitely should try and get involved. Look, if you can get him below the middle mark, I think if you're looking maybe 35, 40 million at the most, I think. I wouldn't go anything higher than that. But the worry is, what if he goes on, scores like 30 goals in the division, then his price is going to be double then.
If he is the next Haaland, then it could happen. Mike Morgan, Antony is But is Antony from Ajax coming to Manchester United? It's looking like it's dead, mate. It doesn't look like it's happening, I'm afraid.
Dead in the water.
They've jacked the price up to 100 mil, so I don't think it's going to happen unless they lower the price again. Raj, only thing Ronaldo's concerned about is the Champions League. Yeah, that's what we were saying. All-time top scorer is 140, Messi's 125. Like a Champions League will risk his record, which is pretty much what it's about, isn't it, really? He wants the Champions League records. He wants the goal-scoring record. He doesn't care what team it is at this point. Obviously, he wanted to go to someone like Chelsea or someone like Bayern Munich. But at this point, he just wants to play Champions League football and score Champions League goals. So he's willing to take on any club that's in the Champions League, which is why the Sporting Lisbon links have happened. Fucking hell, chat is kicking off. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. Appreciate all of them. Keep them coming. JD, 49, will stop being ratchet when he wins as a championship like Ronaldo. I mean, I don't agree with booing any player for performances. I agree that you should be able to criticise players' performances and that, say, call out bad performances, but booing players on the pitch I don't think ever helps any team or it helps anything. Obviously, if they do something completely egregious, then but like in terms of performance, I don't think we should boo players.
And they're a Scouser.
And order a Scouser. Then boo the fuck out of him. Injury Chief, I'm telling you, Ronaldo scored more goals in Ten Hag's system. I see it coming. I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. I hope I do. Severe, he was replying to Mike. I think we'll get Antony. Severe thinks we'll get Antony. Interesting.
I think it's dead in the water now, given all
I
those,
do as well.
That quota price. United won't go back for that quota price unless they panic by. We've seen it in the past, but I don't think they will. I think they're trying to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah. Shreyas, let's hope the team stays like a unit in the coming games too and the season. Yeah, I hope so. It looks pretty good at the minute. There seems to be a team harmony. They're playing well together as a unit. It seems to be doing well. Mike, please tell me about Antony. I've just said, mate, literally just said, don't think he's coming. But they've jacked the price up to 100 million euros. He's not. I don't think. Why it said that price, he's not coming. It's definitely not coming.
Yeah.
Daniel Raj, if you're Ronaldo, would you list using the all-time top scorer of the Crown State United? I get it. I get why he's going. I understand why he's going, but the way he's gone about it has been the wrong way.
He's expected Messi to catch up on the 15 goals. The same Messi that scored how many goals was it last season? Less than 10 in all comps. So there's that side of it too.
Yeah.
I think Messi's gone within, I reckon, the end of next summer from PSG. I don't think he'll stay an extra year.
He's rumoured to go back to Manchester United, not Manchester United, Barcelona, isn't he? Like they're rumoured to get him back, so interesting to see if that happens. Mike Anthony's not good to Manchester United. As far as I know, mate, if 100 million, I don't think they're doing the deal. So unless a breakthrough happens and Ajax negotiate down, 100 million, I don't think we're spending that amount of money. So yeah, we obviously mentioned the Sporting Lisbon links. The Athletic reports Sporting head coach Ruben Art has reservations about signing Ronaldo. It's unclear whether they can afford his 360 grand a week salary. So, which probably would mean United will get stuck with paying it if he goes on loan. Mendes also reported if he confirmed the club, he was under contract, that he has a live offer and the transfer fee must be named for his star. They held showdown talks with Hierarchy this week. He reiterated his desire to leave Old Trafford for a second time. He's unlikely to feature in the United's friendly Atletico Madrid in Oslo tomorrow as he continues to work on his fitness. He could play a part in United's friendly in Rayo Vallecano in the final match of the season on Sunday. They're expected to field
Will that be a big one? That'll be a big one given home crowd as well. What will the reception be like then?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Shreyas said he commented on a fan account or something like that the King plays on Sunday, something like that. I don't know what truth there is to that, but he very well could. I think I'm getting trolled in the chat now. Augustine, guys, maybe what about Antony? Yeah, I think I'm getting trolled in the chat now. I think the chat is trolling me. Should he feature against the Spanish outfit, United expected to field a second string team. Would be the first time he's played under Ten Hag since missing the preseason tour to Thailand. Do you think he plays on Sunday, Adam? And if he does, what do you expect to see from him on Sunday?
Well, he's not going to really have much training sessions between now and then. He hasn't really taken part in any. He hasn't taken part in any at all. So, maybe he'll probably be on the bench. That's the most I can see him because he doesn't deserve to start. I think will start maybe a load of the youngsters who have kind of worked with Ten Hag, and that'll be, I think, a big test for them because he can identify which players are going to go out and loan and which young players are actually going to stay. So that's why I think it's going to be a big game, and it's definitely one worth watching. I think it's worth watching that one a bit more than the Atletico, despite I know you're probably gonna have Ericsson Martinez playing in the other one, but it'll be interesting to see what young players he'll keep about the squad. And I think there's maybe I think if you're looking at it, we might see Charlie Savage, Garnacho, and Garner. I think you'd see them maybe start play a bit more, and I think he'll hold on to them three in particular. I think he wants to work with them, but
Sorry,
if the
mate.
rumors are right,
I've got a spammer in the chat. I'm just gonna.
oh, do
Go
we?
on. You continue. You continue.
Oh, jeez, wow. But yeah, it's gonna set me off. I just read the.
Yeah. Sorry. I've got him. I've got it. I've got
Yeah,
it.
you got him. Okay, sweet. Geez, first time that's happened, you know you're getting somewhere when that happens. But
I
the first time it'll be a first time for many of the young players like playing on front of, I suppose, a biggish crowd like that. Last time was in the Youth Cup final, which was a massive turnout, but that'll be the game I'll be paying more attention to. I'm looking forward to actually watching both. It's going to
yeah,
be two different United teams and two different performances. So I think Saturday you're going to be looking more at it, the likes of Eriksen, Martinez, and then it's almost going to be like a lone watch or a youth review on the Sunday.
for sure.
So definitely check them out. See what players he's going to probably stick with, who will go out and loan. So yeah, looking forward to those games this weekend.
I think that'll be the game he uses it to figure out like who's staying around the first team,
Yeah,
who's gonna go out on loan. I'm just trying to
exactly.
find the because they did release the squad.
Mhm.
Let me have a look. Let's see if I can find it. Adam thinking I missed the link. So Adam, I saved it for you. Don't worry, I've saved it for you. Here we go. Travelling squad for Atletico tomorrow. David De Gea, Tom Heaton, Kovar, Diego Dallo, Ethan Laird, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia, Martinez, Tellez, Ericsson, Bruno Fernandes, Fred, James Garner, McTominay, Palestri, Van der Beek, Elanga, Martial, Rashford, Sancho. That's pretty much what I think Ten Hag is going to play with this season, and that's going to be his main sort of starting squad. Obviously, if Dion comes in, you could see somebody like Fred or Scott McTominay drop down, or maybe James Garner then goes out on loan again because maybe his time is then risked getting in. Adam suddenly looking more actively in the chat.
Yeah. Just keep them on it.
Yeah, keep posting.
Like Harry Redknapp.
Yeah. So yeah, that seems like to be their first team squad. Obviously, they've not released what the second string squad is. If Ronaldo's room to be in it, I imagine it'll be like Garnacho, like you said, Garnacho, Hannibal, people like that. So it'd be interesting to see. Who do you expect to see starting tomorrow? Do you think Martinez and Ericsson start, or do you think they're on the bench tomorrow?
I think they'll probably start off the bench, and then you might see them more so in the second half. It seems to be a pattern he's going with. I think he'll identify a few key players who he will want to give 90 minutes to before the start of the season. I think you're looking at, I think Sancho's going to get 90 minutes. I think it'd be a tough one. Bruno might, but then he might put Ericsson beside Bruno, or he might even put Bruno on the kind of left and then put Ericsson kind of in Bruno's spot. But it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I think the two new fellas will be on the bench. They'll make an appearance in the second half. And I think that might nearly happen. I think the team he starts with, I think he might start with against Brighton next week too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
So I don't think the two young. I don't think the new fellas are going to make a start.
I think Martinez might start actually. If Varane is at home, but as the people are reporting, I think Martinez might start. I don't think Ericsson starts, but I think Martinez may start. It'll be interesting anyway tomorrow. Augustine, Ten Hag wants to make a squad. He had in Ajax. He's even talked about taking Ziyech into the squad. Yeah, Chelsea are looking to get rid of Ziyech, aren't they? Like they're not a fan of him. If we can get him for cheap, why not? I'll take that.
Do him, left footed. It could be an option for instead of Antony, and he's worked under Ten Hag as well. I see a bit of French there, and Is it Monsieur fait il
Aujourd'hui. So that's today, yes?
aujourd'hui? Uh,
Aujourd'hui today?
Aujourd'hui, is that today or is it tomorrow? I think
Tomorrow.
it's tomorrow. I think is there a live tomorrow? If
Yeah.
that's
So yeah, there will be. We'll do a watch along tomorrow. I'm not sure who's doing it, but
Mhm.
I'll figure it out. But there will be a watch along or a review or both tomorrow. So there will be some
Yeah.
content tomorrow. Nick, Cristiano Ronaldo says he's back with the Manchester United team. He's going to play friendly game versus Rayo Vallecano Sunday. The King plays. He just commented. Interesting. So it seems like he's announcing himself for Sunday. Whether he starts or
Announces
not.
himself for the bench.
Yeah, whether he starts or not is another matter.
Yeah.
Shreyas, Martial is the winger, Ronaldo is the number 9. I don't think Martial will take that well. I don't see him taking that well because I think he's at his best when he's the main man and he's a striker. I think that's where Martial is at his best. And if you force him out to the left and you put Cristiano as well, you're going to see the same Martial you saw last season. Uninterested, energy levels super low, just not with it at all. I think that's just going to cost. It's going to cost us in the long run, I think. So I don't think I wouldn't go with that option. If anybody's got any questions in the chat, drop them in. Otherwise, we'll wrap up. Yeah, throw some questions in the chat. It will be good to see. So yeah, regarding the weekend, there will be. Dependent, obviously. I think Shreyas is unavailable, but depending on Dan's availability and mine and Adam's, there may be a watch along. If not, we'll definitely do a review of the game. I believe
what time are the games on at?
12:45, I think.
Okay, that's not too bad. I probably can do that.
So we'll let you know, but there'll definitely be a review, and there may be a watch along. Sunday, same thing. Definitely be a review. May or may not be a watch along, but we'll let you know. But yeah, any questions in the chat? If not, we'll sort of wrap up for the day. If you've not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. There's 25 people in the chat, so if you've not subscribed, please click the link below. It helps us out tremendously. We're trying to get to 300 before the season starts. I think we're on 273, 274.
278 now.
278. We can get in. So yeah, if we get to 280 by end of the stream, result. So yeah, help us subscribe. Like the video as well. That really helps with the engagement and the algorithms. Leave a comment after the video is aired as well. So if you've missed anything, you can scroll back, check out all the sort of news and stuff like that. I don't see any movement in the chat. I'll give it a few minutes just to see if anything moves.
Yeah.
Follow
what about
us.
your starting team?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. You do yours first, and then I'll just.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's going to be looking more so into a team that will play against Brighton. So I'm going to go with David De Gea net, Dallo right back, Maguire. Varane is obviously at home.
So you go Martinez or Lindelof?
I think he'll go Lindelof. I just think he will. And who do I think at left back? That's going to be a big one. Shaw or Malacia.
Yeah.
Or Tellers. It's not going to be Tellers. Maybe Tellers at centre back. I know. But no, it won't be Tellers. I think it'll be Luke Shaw. Then in midfield, I think you're going to see Fred, Bruno, and I think you're going to see McFred. Hate to say it, but you're going to see McFred. Then up front, I think you're going to have Sancho, Martial, and Rashford. I think that's
I think the front three picks itself at this point, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah. And if you're looking at that now, there's not one new signing in that, is there?
It's so, but they played well. They played decently, so I can't.
It's all his team.
Fucking McFred. I can't do another season of McFred.
Oh, Shaw is actually not travelling, apparently.
Who?
Shaw isn't travelling.
Oh, really? So it'd probably be Malacia then, starting.
Malacia, okay.
Maybe Shaw plays on Sunday. Maybe he plays Sunday. I'll go with that knowledge. I'll go De Gea, Malacia, Martinez, Maguire, Dallo. I'm not picking McFred because I can't see it. Fred.
You have to pick one of them.
Yeah, Fred, Bruno, Donny, and then Rashford, Sancho, Martial. I think that's my team. Any questions in the chat? Any questions?
A few comments there.
Why is mine not updating? That's really annoying.
Oh, so yours not updated. We have JD429. He said, "Love the channel. Keep up the good work."
Thank you, JD. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's we're trying to get everything even more professional daily. It's looking really good. We're putting a lot of effort behind the scenes too.
Yeah,
So, especially to the lads that aren't, I know it's been me and Sam for the most part this week, but especially Shreyas, Dan, with working on Twitter.
yeah,
Nick, I think, has been doing bits too, even when he's on holidays. So there's
yeah,
a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on that people don't know about. So, massive credit to them as
yeah,
well.
for sure.
Indra said Ronaldo has more quality than Martial in every aspect. It is bits. I think I prefer Martial's hold-up play. I think it's a lot better for the team in that sense. But obviously
I've
Ronaldo, one
got
of the best of all time.
I've got the
Better
chat.
goal.
I got the
You
chat
have it
back
now,
up.
do
Yeah,
you?
I got it back up.
Yeah.
Shreyas, Shaw's not traveling. Ericsson or Donny. I think Donny's gonna play. I'd like to see Ericsson, but I think Donny will play over Ericsson. Adam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard it pretty much the same. I think second half, that's when the subs are going to happen. I don't think there'll be as much subs because I reckon he wants to give 90 minutes to some key players who are going to start the Brighton game.
Yeah.
So I think the likes of Donny will be taken off, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Poor lad.
Yeah,
Poor lad.
Ericsson not on then.
Daniel Raj has got his team, so he's gone with De
Yeah,
Gea, Malacia, Martinez, Maguire, Dallo, Ericsson, Fred, Bruno, Martial, Rashford, Sancho. So he's done the same as me, but he's put Ericsson in
yeah,
instead of Donny.
Donny.
And he said, oh, Donny could be in start place for Ericsson. So yeah, Dan's pretty sort of close to what I've
Yeah.
picked. Any more questions in the chat? Otherwise, we shall wrap this bad boy up. If you're not following us on all the socials, we would appreciate it if you can follow us. They're all
Yeah.
at the bottom here. All of ours, like there. TikTok for all the funny clips and all the latest stuff from these shows. And then little bits of stuff that Nick does. Nick runs the TikTok, some really good stuff on there. Some like stuff that's taken off as well. Like I think one of them's got like 70,000 views, so go check that out. It's really good. Twitch, Real Reds Gaming, me, Adam, Shreyas, have all been on there on occasion. Adam plays some COD, Warzone. I play some Assassin's Creed. Shreyas has played PUBG, but he may not be able to play that anymore because apparently there's a ban happening in India on PUBG, which he told me today. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Mike Morgan, sod off, mate. You stop with the bullshit. Twitter, Real Reds Talk 1. That's ran by Dan and Shreyas. All your latest news updates, all your links to the videos, all the latest sort of information on Manchester United and Real Reds Talks. Go follow that. It's always up to the minute as well. It's like bang, 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 straight out. Instagram, follow Real Reds Talk. I run that along with Nick. Adam's occasionally on there as well. All the latest graphics for the shows, the schedules, that kind of stuff. All the latest news stories as well. I try and do that as much as possible. So yeah, keep an eye on that.
Shrey said it's happened.
It has
Ban
happened.
has happened.
What's happened? The
ban
ban.
for
Oh,
PUBG,
mate. Very sorry. Very sorry that's happened, mate. That sucks for Shreyas, unfortunately. Shreyas is a professional esports gamer, and his game of choice is PUBG, and in his home country, they've just banned it. So Shreyas is in a bit of a sort of fight or flight mode at the minute because they've banned the game that he plays, so it's not good.
We might see a bit more of Shreyas.
Yeah, Shreyas has got more time on his hands now. He's
You're
hosting.
welcome,
He's going to be
Shreyas.
hosting some shows,
Yeah.
doing some shows for us. Yeah, so follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, follow us on TikTok. Appreciate all the love. If you've not subscribed, again, please do urge you to subscribe. Appreciate all the
282.
love. 282, fucking get in. Absolutely loving it. Indrajeev, no PUBG in India. Yeah, very sad news. I don't understand PUBG, so I could only sympathise. I'm sorry. Yeah, Adam, thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it, mate.
No problem. Being a good week, busy week ahead as well. Looking forward to actually the watch along to United back on tomorrow. Feels like it's been a while since we've actually seen them play.
Yeah.
Especially, hopefully, we can get a bit of revenge against a team who
that
really,
game,
really frustrated
that
us.
game,
Yeah.
mate. That referee as well.
Oh,
What a
don't
fucking
start me about that.
irritating game that was. Absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, a
mental.
bit of just well, I wouldn't say he who laughs last
Loudest.
loudest, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know it's a friendly, but still, just to have a little bit of something to shout about and
Shame.
a bit of good momentum.
It's a shame
going into the
Hannibal's not in the squad because could have brought him a couple of
Could have
kickings.
snapped
That'd be nice.
Simeone on this.
Martinez is there though, so he might do it. We'll see what happens.
Comment there, Adam on a scooter vlogs.
Yeah. Well, if we get to 500 subscribers, Adam will do it. We'll do it. Angela, Man United sign Antony, Sesko, Ronaldo want him to leave, let him go. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. Sam, please can you mention about the FPL? The FPL?
Fantasy Premier League.
Oh, shit. Yes. Fantasy Premier League. We have set up a Fantasy Premier League. So you can join it for pretty much any Fantasy Premier League app. I use the official Fantasy Premier League. Adam, have you joined it yet? I bet you haven't.
I haven't, no.
Fucking sort your shit out, Adam. If we're talking about it, you've got to be on it.
Yeah.
So I believe me, Nick on it, Dan's on it. I think there's a couple of other people on it. So Adam, sort your shit out. That's what you're doing after the stream.
I have.
Yeah, come join it. So on our story in a minute, Dan, could you put in the chat the code for the Fantasy Premier League, please? That would be very helpful.
If not, we'll probably add it to the description as well.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description in the link for the auto join in the description. But it's on our story as well. If you go to our Instagram, it's our story and the code's there. Join the league, pick your fantasy league. It'd be good to have a load of people on there as well. I think there's already like 10 people in, so more the merrier. It'd be fucking great. See everybody go against each other. And if it gets really popular and people are into it, we'll do a little show on it and we'll get people on and we'll talk about their fantasy league. So more content, more opportunities for you guys to get on here as well. So make it happen. Hopefully Dan's put it in the chat, so I've not seen it yet, but yeah, if you can put it in the chat, Dan, I appreciate it. Adam, what have we got? John, what have we got on tap for this week? I think we just got the watch alongs, haven't we?
With the watch alongs for the weekend, and we usually release the schedule on Monday, so hopefully both we'll probably, if we can, have the season kind of preview before it starts.
Yes.
And then I think on either Friday, Saturday next week, we'll have the big, preview before the game. Picking your starting 11, score predictions. It feels weird coming back to all this. Looking forward to it though.
Yeah.
Especially, I think it'd be a first. Could it be nearly on the more professional side of this whole YouTube kind of thing that we're doing now? Yeah, so
first,
it's going to be big.
First live stream with graphics, intertitles, all the stuff that we were talking about last season that I promised you was happening. We're delivering it, man, and it's only going to get better. I'm looking at other stuff. I'm looking at like news ticker stuff. I'm looking at alerts. When we start getting to like the level of like monetization and stuff like that, it's going to be a load of things that get unlocked as well. So it's getting bigger, and it's all thanks to you guys. So if you can subscribe and encourage and share it with your friends, it only helps things. It always gets bigger. Dan's put it in the chat, so that's the code in the chat there. Nice. So go to any fantasy league, type in that join league, private league, and then put that code in, and then you'll be able to join it. Severe, one last thing. I heard Isaac Hansen Aaron has been moved up to the senior squad. Interesting. That's really interesting. One of our youth players been over the senior squad.
Probably get an appearance on Sunday then. The rest.
Yeah, definitely. Be interesting. There's probably going to be an opportunity for a lot of players to show and then get loaned out so they can get a good look at like whoever's going to loan them out, get a good look at them. So I imagine that's what that's there for. Anyways, thank you for joining us, Adam. Appreciate it as always. You'll probably see me and Adam tomorrow, if not for a watch along for the review for definite. I think Shiraz is that bit busy. Dan might join, but we'll sort it out. Me and Adam probably again Sunday. Nick is back on Sunday. He won't be joining us. I think he's flying during that time, but he will be back next week, hopefully, with a bunch of shows and stuff like that. So it'll be good to get Nick back on the show. Cool. Nobody else in the chat. Nobody else. No more questions. Cool. Let's end this bad boy.
Oh my God.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.
Tomorrow. Peace and love.